Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Bree. If you are new here, I am a Chicago-based flight attendant for a major airline.
And today,
I will be talking about how I moved from Alabama to Chicago, how I live with various roommates, and
a crash pad.
how I was a junior flight attendant with barely any money, and how I finally moved into my own place. I'll be talking about the highs and lows, the ins and outs of it all, the reality of it all, and how I created a budget to turn things around to finally end up where I am now. Okay, so first things first, I was a bank teller in Alabama before I got this job, and y'all, I didn't really realize it when I was in that season, but I was so depressed in that job field. Like, it was just so, what's the word I'm looking for? Everything was the same. It was just a routine. I am a person, I like variety. Like, I need change. I need something that's not like robotic, like doing the same thing every day of the week, 9 to 5. Like, anyway. But yes, I was anxious, depressed, mad, sad, all of that. And like I said, in that season, I didn't really realize that I was living like that, but I was. And one day I was having a conversation with my friend, and she had a friend, and she was just telling me that that friend had asked about me and that she's still enjoying her life in the skies, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, ask her if they hiring. And I really wasn't serious. I really was not serious, because before this, I had probably been on a plane maybe 6 times, like 3 round trips in my life. Like, being on a plane every single day for a career never crossed my mind. But again, at that point, I'm just like, hey, ask her if they hiring. And she said that they were. She sent me the application, told me what to do, talked me through it. I did not make it past the virtual interview with that airline, but she was like, girl, don't worry about it. I got another opportunity for you. And y'all, when I tell you, this was seamless for me. That whole process, from the interviews, the trainings, everything else was just seamless. And I am a believer, and I just believe that that meant that it was for me, you know? And I'm looking down at my notes because I want to make sure I touch on everything. How I ended up in Chicago is my class was, shout out to class. Well, anyway, shout out to my class. We were offered Newark, Chicago, Dulles, and Denver. And I'd already done my research prior to going to training. And I kind of already knew that Chicago was where I wanted to be, because Chicago was the cheaper option of the bases that my airline offers. So once we put in our choices, Chicago was my first choice, and I was so happy that I got it on the first try, you know. Now, y'all, you can only imagine the excitement that I had once I got my wings. And I'm like, oh, girl, I'm moving to Chicago. I'm moving to Chicago, girl. Like, moving from Alabama to a big city like Chicago, like, hello, talk to me nice. But then, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, reality came and slapped me on the back of my neck. Like, girl, it's expensive here. And yes, I said expensive. It's expensive, okay? So one of my classmates, she put me on to a Crashpad. Now, for those of you that do not know, a Crashpad is living quarters that airline crew and flight attendants share, whether it's a house or an apartment, sometimes even a hotel. Y'all, it's not glamorous. Not glamorous at all. My particular crash pad, it was about maybe 10-15 minutes away from the airport, which was a plus, but it was a 2-bedroom outdated apartment. I'll probably link a video in it sometime so you can see what it was and how it was. It housed 12. There were 3 bunk beds in each room, so each room could hold up to 6 people. There were maybe 9 people, including myself, at a time. Like, I don't think it ever reached full capacity. But just imagine living with that many females. Hello. And I did that for like a year and 7 months, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, we had some fun times. I built some friendships that I believe will last for a lifetime. But the reality of it was cheap, but having to share that small of a space with that many women is outrageous, okay? Now, also, I do need to add that a crash pad is usually like for commuters. They go back to wherever their home is, to where they actually live. But a lot of the people that in my crash pad, we kind of treated it like the real world, if you remember what that is. Like, a lot of us weren't going back home. Again, I was not going back to Alabama, so that was home for me. Y'all, everybody doesn't clean the same. Everybody doesn't have the same hygiene. The amount of space that you have to keep your belongings, having to like section off counters, having to section off the refrigerator. You can only keep a small amount in the refrigerator. Like, that was difficult. It was very difficult, but I made it work. And luckily, I was able to save a little bit. Now, again, as a junior flight attendant, if you've done your research, you know that we don't make the most money, but with my rent being that cheap, I was still able to put aside something to get an apartment, or I was just putting money aside regardless. I'll also add that privacy was non-existent. Over my bunk, I had like a sheet. I had the bottom bunk. I had a sheet tucked into the mattress of the top bunk to have like some type of enclosed space where people couldn't see me sleeping or I wouldn't have to see people. But y'all, sometimes we're women, you know, we get moody sometimes. Like, there were some times where I just wanted to scream, because after a long trip, I don't want to come in and hear other people talking or see other people, or have to wait on a shower, or have to wait on the stove to cook a meal. Y'all, it was rough, okay? It was rough. And then I just started dating or trying to date, and it was a no men allowed zone. So imagine a woman of age, hello, you can't have any like a long time with your significant other, like, y'all. And I was just praying like, hey, I love my situation, I love my job, but God, please help me get out of this. Like, put it in me, like, I gotta pinch pennies, I gotta make something work, I gotta make something shake, I gotta get up out of here. And I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before, but I am a reserve flight attendant. I'm a junior flight attendant, so those things were working against me as far as having money and saving money. And there were times where I had to choose between going grocery shopping or paying my car note, or, you know, like, there was a battle between wants and needs, like, often, all the time, if you will. So I really had to sit down with myself and figure out a budget, how I was gonna make it work. And one day I was just, well, over time, if I flew with somebody and we had good conversation, you know, like, hey, are you living in Chicago? Like, where are you living? How much is it? Is it affordable or what you make? Do you have to pick up often? Do you have to get another job? I was just having conversations, with various people. And one day I flew with this girl and she showed me this studio, and which is where I am now. But she showed me this studio, and she also showed me a one bedroom that she used to live in. She gave me the landlord's contact information. I just, again, on a whim, I reached out to both. They both told me that they didn't have anything at the moment. One of the girls in the crash pad, I was discussing being a roommate with her, but she works for another airline. They just got a contract, but at the time, you know, she was like, well, I can't move to such and such date. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to get out of here soon. And then one day I'm just sitting there crocheting and my phone rings, and it's the landlord for the studio. And he was like, hey, I just had a girl tell me that she's moving out in a month, and you were the first person to reach out. So I wanted to reach out to you to see if you wanted the apartment. Why, hello, sir. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. What I need to do. So I paid my deposit. I moved in. Another friend of mine, he suggested that I do a gift registry for my apartment, and I did that. And I am so thankful for my friends that contributed to my move, because they just do not know how much they blessed me. Like, I really only had to get like my big stuff, and in the situation that I'm in right now, that was just a blessing. So again, if you are watching this, thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Like, y'all just do not know how much y'all help me. So now that I am in my own place, I've been in my apartment for a month now, but I have again had to sit down with myself and figure out how much I'm going to allow myself to spend out of my month's earnings. Rent is a pretty big chunk of it. My rent is $950. Everything is included outside of the electricity and the Wi-Fi. So what's everything? Gas, gas and water I don't have to pay. That's included in my rent. But my electricity bill was $27. And my Wi-Fi, I have not done much research on it because, again, I'm never really at home. So that's the least of my worries. But there is a major grocery store across the street from me. There's a major department store right across the street from me. The trains, the buses, my transportation is right across the street from me. There's a gym down the street from me. I'm surrounded by Asian market, Mexican market, multiple attractions. Everything is within walking distance from me. So again, I am very blessed to have been given this opportunity to move to Chicago and to the area that I am currently in. I'm very blessed, very thankful. But again, I am entertaining the thought of getting a second job, either waitressing or bartending, because I'm familiar with both. And I know the type of money that I can make, and I do want to grow my savings again. I really don't want to give up my free days, but it's only temporary right now. But y'all, nothing, and I mean nothing, beats the peace of mind that I have now that I am out of that Crashpad. Y'all just do not understand. Here I was trying to be cute, and my little ring light from the TikTok shop has died on me, and I did not bring my charger. But anyway, hey y'all, I'm back. The lighting is way better right here. But I said all that to say that this whole journey has definitely been a learning experience. I've learned how to manage money better. I've learned how to set goals for myself and achieve them. I've learned about myself as a woman. I've always deemed myself as a resilient woman, but this journey has definitely proven my resilience. Like, I really just feel like a big dog. Like, there is nothing that I cannot overcome. Again, this whole experience, from leaving home, leaving everything and everybody that I know behind to just start a new journey by myself, really proved my resilience, y'all. It was not easy, but it was definitely a learning experience, and I'm very thankful to be on this journey. I'm very thankful that I was convinced to bring you all along on this journey. Like, a lot of things that I'm sharing or will be sharing, a lot of people do not know about me. So I'm having to be very vulnerable and open, and that's not something that I'm used to. But I'm here, y'all. So I do want to say that if you are in a similar situation, I do want to let you all know that things do get better over time. Do take the time to just focus on what you can take care of right now. Focus on the small things to prepare you for the bigger things. It is all about progress and not perfection. That is something that I had to learn as a perfectionist. I do want things my way and how I want them, but this again has just been a crazy wild ride of a learning experience, but I really would not trade it for anything else. So now that I am in my own place, I can let my hair down, I can breathe a little, I can focus more on my bigger goals. There are so many talents and hobbies that I want to explore. There are so many entrepreneurial and business ventures that I want to explore. And yeah, now that I have a clear mind, I can focus on all of those things. And I can't wait to see how the rest of my journey unfolds in Chicago, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload more content about flight attendant life, budgeting, crochet, moving to a big city. I can't wait. If y'all have any comments, any suggestions, any budgeting tips, any things to do in Chicago, anything, leave them in the comments. I will read and engage. I love that type of stuff. So yeah, y'all talk to me and I talk back. Also, if you've ever lived in a crash pad, please share your tips. Please share your craziest stories. So any future flight attendants that may be watching this or reading the comments, just so that they can see. And yeah, I'm gonna leave you all with that. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please look forward to more content from me. Thank you for watching. Good night.